Welcome in your favorite YouTube channel, Language Guide. I am Professor Balasaheb Rohukle and you are watching a video on In Sahyadri Hills, a lesson in humility written by famous social worker Sudha Murthy. If you are new on the channel, please subscribe the channel to get notification of a new video. Please like the video and share it with your friends and well-wishers. In this video, you are going to study the story as per the following lesson plan. Here is the lesson plan. Introduction, theme of the story, hobby and social work of Sudha Murthy, Sudha Murthy's journey to tribal school, pathetic condition of the school, Sudha Murthy meets the watchman of the school, Sudha Murthy meets Thandappa, Sudha Murthy revisits the school, dialogue between Sudha Murthy and the students, generosity of the tribe, and conclusion. Now let us start with an introduction. In the introduction, you are going to know about Sudha Murthy and her work. Sudha Murthy is an Indian social worker and writer. She writes both in Kannada and in English. Her social work covers different sectors like healthcare, education, empowerment of women, public hygiene, art and culture. By profession, she is a computer scientist and engineer. She is the chairperson of Infosys Foundation and a member of public healthcare initiatives of the Gates Foundation. Her contribution in setting up orphanages, computer labs, and libraries in rural Karnataka is highly appreciable. She has set up near about 50,000 libraries in rural areas. She is a pioneer of computer education in schools in Karnataka. She has also acted in Marathi and Kannada films. Her well-known works includes number 1, A Wise and Otherwise, A Salute to Life, which was published in 2002. Second, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories, which was published in 2004. Third, The Old Man and His God, Discovering the Spirit of India, which was published in 2006. Number 4, The Magic Drum and Other Favorite Stories, which was also published in 2006. Fifth, The Bird with Wings, Stories of Wit and Magic, which was published in 2009. Sixth, The Day I Stopped Drinking Milk, Life Stories from Here and There, which was published in 2012. And Grandma's Bag of Stories, which was published in the same year, that is 2012. Now let's have to see the theme of this story. The story has been taken from A Wise and Otherwise, A Salute to Life, a famous book by Sudha Murthy. It is a heart-touching account of Sudha Murthy's interactions with the tribal people in the dense forest of Karnataka. It tells the vision of the tribal students and their desire to join the computer revolution in India. It throws light on nature of the tribal people. The next point is hobby and social work of Sudha Murthy. Traveling is Mrs. Sudha Murthy's hobby. She travels in and outside the country. Tiny villages, drought-hit areas, deserted mountaintops, dense forests are the chief attractions for Sudha Murthy. Once she travels to a remote tribal village in the forest of Sahyadri Hills in Karnataka. She wants to visit the primary school of the village. On behalf of a charitable trust, she wants to improve the facilities in the school. The route to reach there goes through a deep and thick forest. Now the next point is journey to tribal school. A long walk in heavy rain is an adventure itself. It has been dazzling the whole day. She has to face some minor threats like blood-sucking leeches, but she reaps the happiness. She is excited with the mild smell of trees, shrubs, and flowers, the chirping of birds, and gentle whistle of the unpolluted breeze. The natural beauty and atmosphere make her think that she is on different planet. On the way, she comes across the tribal men and women. Instead of communicating, they only stare at her. Perhaps the language may be the barriers between them. She asks the route to reach the school to a water pot carrying lady, but she shows no interest. She only makes an exclamatory sound. Perhaps the lady doesn't want to talk to a stranger, or she doesn't understand the language of Sudhamurti. Next, we see pathetic condition of the school. Mrs. Sudhamurti approaches to an old man. He hums a folk song while weaving a cane basket. She asks him the route to the primary school. He answers in his dialect and in his own language. He indicates directions with his hand. Finally, she reaches at the school. It is an old thatched building built by the local tribal. Few children play outside, while others do something with leaves and straws under a shade-like shelter. She walks in and finds a small room. It appears to be the office of the school. It contains amenities like two chairs, two tables, and a blackboard, as well as a pot of water. There are neither lights nor fans. A small shutterless opening serves as the window. It is the only source of ventilation in the room. She finds nobody around the school. Next, Sudhamurti meets an elderly man who is a live-in watchman cum peon of the school. He is not a paid employee of the school or government. He takes no remuneration as the school provides free education to his grandson. In return, he gives free services to the school. He lives in a small hut in the courtyard of the school. She introduces herself and explains her aim to visit the school. He informs her that the school runs by the state government. He adds that there are two teachers and around 50 students who come from far and near. Uniform is not compulsory in this school. Mrs. Murthy is impressed to know the figure of the students in a remote tribal village. She is also impressed by the will of uneducated parents to educate their children in an adverse condition. Mrs. Murthy asks watchman about the difficulties to run the school. Instead of answering her question, he takes her to Thandappa. The headman of Thanda is called Thandappa. Generally, he is the senior most man of the tribe. He is considered as the supreme power. He is a living god for the tribe. All the members of the tribe respect him. He practices the customs and traditions of the tribe. The watchman introduces Sudhamurti to the Thandappa, who lives in a nearby cottage. He seems to be more than 90 years old. He is happy to see her. She asks him about the problems to run the school. He points out that during rainy season, commencing to school becomes difficulties for children. The school clothes wouldn't dry in the season. It makes students difficult to attend the school. Through conversation, Sudhamurti understands their lives, problems, and their practical requirements. She appreciates the people and their efforts. She thanks them for their cooperation. She decides to return with some umbrellas and clothes for the children. Then she departs from the village. Sudhamurti revisits the village in the following winter. She brings with her a big bag of clothes and few umbrellas. She notices absence of mud and croaking of frogs, cooing of birds and blooming of rare flowers under the clear sky makes the village a paradise on the earth. She meets the Thandappa. He greets her with a smile. His eyes welcome her warmly. She hands over him a big bag of clothes for the children. She suggests him to stitch as per the size of the children. But first, the Thandappa hesitates to accept the gift. Finally, he goes into his hut without saying a word. Then Mrs. Muti talks with the students stand around her. She asks their demands. First, they shy to talk with her. Finally, one of them says that they want to learn about computers. He also adds that they have seen the computer on TV only. To learn computer, they need any book about computers written in Kannada. Having a teacher background, she is delightful to hear children's modern and fresh attitude about education. She is impressed their keen interest and modern technology. She assures them to search it in Bangalore. She also promises them if the book is not available in the market, she would write one for them. It makes the children happy. Next, we see generosity of the tribe. Meanwhile, Thandappa returns with a bottle of red liquid in his hands. He calls Miss Sudhamurti Amma and he offers the bottle to her. He informs that it is a very special, pure, and healthy juice of wild red fruits. They prepare it during summer. One can preserve it for at least 2 rainy seasons. He gives her proper instructions to drink it. Sudha feels uncomfortable to accept the gift from the poor people. She thinks that it is against her mission. Thandappa explains their age-old tradition of the land. They never accept until they give something. This is new and amazing experience to Sudhamurti. Give when you take. Do not take without giving is the principle and culture of their community. Sudhamurti is highly impressed with the philosophy of uneducated tribal people. She smiles and gracefully accepts the gift and returns home. And the last part is about conclusion. The story has first person narration and it reflects traditions, custom and culture of the Thanda, which is a tribal community in Kannada. I hope you like this video. Thanks to spare time with me.